Joining me now from outside the High Court in London is TalkTV correspondent Oliver Whitfield-Miočić and royal editor at The Sun, Matt Wilkinson. Hello, gentlemen, both. So fill us in on what's gone on today. It sounds as if Prince Harry's composure has deserted him today.
Oh, I wouldn't say that, Vanessa. I think he's been there and he has answered those questions pretty calmly throughout. It's been 8 hours over the past 2 days of at times quite gruelling cross-examination by Mirror Group newspapers barrister Andrew Green. We've learned about the personal effects that he's alleged of the phone hacking, the breakup of his relationship with Chelsy Davy, how it has caused him paranoia, how he's lost friends because he thought they were the source of leaks. And he is adamant that the Mirror Group newspapers are responsible for unlawful information gathering. I've been in court, Matt, you've also been in court, and Prince Harry is still in court, which is quite unusual. At the moment, we've got the former royal editor of the Mirror giving evidence. Why is Harry still in court?
Well, yeah, Harry has remained in court. I mean, he got here early this morning for his evidence, which finished shortly after lunchtime at about 2:15. He looked a little bit upset once he had finished his evidence. He sat down, puffed his cheeks out, and then he stayed, rather tellingly, for a Mirror journalist to give her evidence. During his course of evidence, Harry was saying how the court needed to hear from the journalists as to where they obtained their information. He's now sat in court listening to the cross-examination of the Mirror journalist, where she is being asked to explain exactly where she obtained the information that leads to some of the stories that he claims in his witness statement are illegal.
Jane Kerr, the former Mirror royal editor, 10 of her stories are part of this 33-story claim that's right at the heart of this case. Now, it's going to be grueling for her, we know that, and we've already seen just how tough it is when she's being questioned by the celebrity barrister, David Sherborne.
Yeah, that's right. I think we've got a few more hours of Jane this afternoon, and it's a tough time. I mean, she's been a journalist. She left the Mirror many years ago, now being asked to answer some serious questions put by a barrister that has appeared in court many, many times, putting these sort of questions to many, many experienced journalists. I mean, it's going on at the moment. I think it will continue for a few hours yet, but yeah, at the moment, there's some tough questions for her.
8 hours of tough questions as well for Prince Harry. What's your sort of verdict on how it's been for him? Has he put across the evidence that he needed to?
Well, look, the heart of this case is Harry saying that there were private stories about his personal and private life that he didn't think should have come into the public, and he's had to relive these in court. So he's actually had to volunteer information this morning. He's spoken about a lap dance, for instance, that he took that was featured in one of the stories that is alleged to be illegally obtained. He's spoken about his breakup with Chelsy Davy. He's spoken about cavorting, or claims that he was cavorting with a woman at a rugby game. I mean, these are things that he had always wanted to be private, and now he's actually in court under oath talking about some of the big scandalous stories. There was one story, for instance, he was mentioning volunteered information about arranging a private night with the former Love Island host Caroline Flack. Now, these are things that privacy-loving Harry didn't want to get into the media, and he's complaining about appearing in the media, but he has been in court happy to speak about elements of his private life under oath.
Some of those examples that were given in court and used as a defence by the Mirror included the fact that some of the stories, his phone that got lost in Lesotho, had already been covered by the French news agency Agence France-Presse. The fact that journalists often use sources to give them information. That's what happened when he was asking how they found out he was in a nightclub. Some of this is just normal news gathering, isn't it?
Well, I think part of the Mirror's defence is that allegations that they were illegal in obtaining the information was always already in the public realm. So their defence very much is, this isn't our exclusive, this is something that we've copied from another newspaper, or something that's already on the wires, or occasionally something that's actually appeared via a palace spokesman, and in one case, actually an interview that Prince Harry provided to the whole media that was pulled and then appeared in the paper.
I've been speaking to some legal experts. They say that he probably won't win all of the claims, especially the ones where information can be proved it came from before. But they do believe that on those more personal stories, where it seems very unlikely it would have come out unless by unlawful means, he does have quite a strong chance of winning on those claims.
Well, he's got many claims, so he doesn't have to prove them all. He just has to get through on the balance of probabilities on 2 or 3 of them and maybe get a partial win. we've got a judge that will probably take until August to painstakingly go through all of the evidence. So we don't know, we can't, double guess what a judge might say. But yes, we look at the evidence here and we think that there's no smoking gun, or there's no evidence, or it's just Harry saying he has suspicions. But the judge will have to go through each case, each story, and maybe a couple of them, maybe all of them, maybe none of them, and make a decision on them, and that's when we'll get the result from him.
And it's not just legal woes here in the UK, finally. Also on the other side of the Atlantic, he's got another case.
Yeah, that's right. There's a case being brought by a Republican think tank who is requesting the government to release information about his visa details. I don't particularly think Harry is focused on that. I think he's focused on this one. This is the one that's actually most important to him in his life in the past and also going forward.
Matt Wilkinson joining us there, the royal editor from The Sun. Vanessa, our eyes are now trained on that door to see when Prince Harry will emerge. I think it's going to be like all the other days. He will leave, get swiftly into his Range Rover, and then he'll be out of here.